Hola, muy buenos días. That means hello, very good morning to you. I hope it's a very good morning. It's 9:59 for me right now, 10 o'clock now. So I'm having a very good morning. I hope you guys are having a good morning as well, or a good afternoon, or a good evening, whatever it is, whatever the time of day it is for you. I hope it's going well for you. Okay. Today, we're going to have a little presentation on something called Red Ribbon Week. It's the last week in October. It's going to be our last SEL lesson for the last week in October. So I'm going to present my screen to you right now. So give me a second while I turn it around so you can see what I'm seeing. Okay, while I share it. Be patient with me. Okay, so it says I'm presenting now. Let me go over here. Let me present this. So here it is, October 26th through the 30th, Red Ribbon Week. So most people don't know what Red Ribbon Week is about, or why we celebrate it, or why we even observe it. But I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to tell you some things related to it. So here we go. Okay, this year Red Ribbon Week falls October 26th through the 30th. Okay, now in most schools in the United States, if we were in school right now, we'd have a week with the whole school kind of participating in different events for different days of the week. For example, we might have a crazy hair day on a Monday, and a mixed match socks day on a Tuesday, and a pajama day on a Thursday, and a rare wear red on a Friday. Okay, so every day in the of the week we might be doing something different just to commemorate or participate in Red Ribbon Week with the rest of the schools in the United States. Okay, but here's how it happened. In 1985, people began wearing red ribbons, the little small ones, okay, on their shirts to honor a law enforcement officer that passed away or died. Okay, his name was Enrique Camarena, and he was part of the drug enforcement agency, which was trying to stop all the illegal drugs from coming into the United States and hurting people. Okay, so when he passed away, or I should say when he died, his family started wearing the little red ribbons to commemorate him and honor him. Now, when President Reagan's wife Nancy Reagan heard about that, she started wearing a little red ribbon too. And so it became kind of like a national movement where a lot of people over the United States would wear little red ribbons, or wear red shirts to honor one, the fallen officer that died in service of his country, or two, to honor the whole idea of the war against drugs to stop illegal drugs from coming into the United States. Okay, so now you know a little bit about the background. Let's find out what exactly why they were exactly fighting drugs, and why this law enforcement officer lost his life. Be drug free. Okay, and it's showing a group of kids doing their thing, having fun, skating, playing soccer, playing music. Okay, just being them because they're drug free, and being drug free allows them to be just them. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind as we move forward in this SEL lesson. Okay, what is a drug? So we use that word and we may not really know what it means. Okay, so I'm going to kind of define it for you and then let you guys know some little things about it. Okay, so drugs are things that people put into their bodies, sometimes through their mouth, they meaning they take them like medicine. Okay, sometimes they inhale them through their nose, sometimes they put them on top of their skin, and sometimes they inject them into their blood. Okay, and the reason why they do that is to change the way they feel or they act. Some people believe that drugs make them feel a lot better, or they act silly and goofy and things like that. Okay, so that's what drugs are: things that we put into our bodies that change the way we feel or act. Now, there are good drugs called medicines, right? And illegal drugs. So, the good drugs are the medicines that doctors give us or our parents give us to help us when we feel, for example, pain or a body ache or a tummy ache or something like that, when we have a cough or a cold. Okay. Those are all drugs, but they're called medicines because they're good drugs that we take to help our bodies deal with health issues. Okay. And then all the other ones are illegal drugs. Okay. And the illegal drugs are bad because they're harmful to your body. So, where the good medicine actually helps your body, for example, if you have a headache and you take some aspirin, that's a good medicine. Okay. It's a drug, but it's a good medicine and it helps take away the headache. Okay. The other ones, all the illegal drugs that are bad, are actually hurting your body. So the two most common kinds of drugs in the United States that are used are tobacco and alcohol. And a lot of us have seen these because a lot of our family members have used these in the past, right? And even though these are what they would consider legal drugs, meaning that people can legally use them, they shouldn't be used by anybody under 21 years old, okay? Because they're designed to be used by full grown adults. And if young people take them, they're going to hurt their body, okay? These drugs like tobacco and alcohol could even hurt older people's bodies if they're taking too much of it and doing what they call abusing it. Okay, so stay away from the alcohol and tobacco. Right here, I even have pictures of common alcohol, right? Some wine, some beer, and tobacco products with like a cigarette. Okay, so we have those. Excuse me. We have those big red lines drawn across them so we know to stay away from them. Okay. Why would people even want to use drugs? That's a good question. Sometimes they want to fit in with their friends. So, for example, they may have friends that drink beer or smoke cigarettes, right? And they figure that the only way they're going to be able to be part of that group is by drinking beer or smoking cigarettes with them. They think it's going to make them look cool, okay, to hang out with their friends where they're doing drugs, okay? That's not really the case. I don't think it makes anybody look cool. They might want to escape from a stressful or difficult time in their life. So we all have problems in our life, and we all have situations in our life where um, we wish that we didn't have to go through it, right? But people that do drugs do them sometimes because they are hoping that doing the drugs is going to take away the problems or help them escape from reality, which is not really the truth, but that's what they believe. Okay. They might do them because they think the drugs will make them feel really good. And honestly, the drugs change the way they do feel, right? But sometimes it's, you know, because it makes you feel really good for a little while, doesn't mean it's not hurting your body in the long term. Okay. So the reasons why they would want to use their drugs are the ones that we put there and talked about. Okay. Now we got to talk about the reasons why we shouldn't, though. Okay. So, why we shouldn't use drugs? Illegal drugs can actually harm our brain, our heart, I'm sorry, and our other body organs. We have a lot of organs that we have to live, okay? Like our skin, our kidneys, our liver, our brain, our heart. And if we're taking drugs, it's hurting all of those organs. There was a commercial one time that used to have a frying pan and that says, "This is your brain," right? And it would have a egg, and they would start to fry the egg in the frying pan, and then they would say, "This is your brain on drugs." So it was like your brain is being fried, okay, when it's using drugs. Illegal drugs cause us to think less clearly and make bad decisions. Okay, none of us want to be those people that are making bad choices or bad decisions in our life. And illegal drugs illegal drugs actually cause us to think less clearly, and we can't make those good decisions. Drugs don't solve problems, they just make things worse. Yeah, people actually end up getting in more trouble because they're using drugs. Okay, so even though they think they're escaping their problems or they're escaping all the realities of life, it's just making things worse for them. And then people can become addicted. And what I mean by addicted is, I mean, they change. Addiction is when your body needs the drugs so bad that if it doesn't have them, it's going to get sick. Okay. And it'll start like throwing up and having bad body aches and stuff like that. So there are a lot of drugs that people get addicted to, and even stuff like alcohol and tobacco. Okay, and it makes their life a mess because if you're addicted to a lot of that stuff, you're not going to be able to participate in life all the way. And so you may lose a job, or you may lose your friends, or you may lose your family, things like that. Okay, what should you do if you know someone who is using drugs? So say you're walking down the street and you see somebody that might be using some illegal drugs or drinking too much. Okay, the first thing you have to do is stay very safe. Okay, stay safe. That's the most important thing. So if that means you have to walk back the other way up the street or cross the street, and make sure you're not anywhere around that, just make sure you're staying safe. Make sure that you can get to a trusted adult and tell them what's going on so they can help. Okay, and then you keep telling trusted adults until you actually do get the help you need. Sometimes the first adult you tell isn't really going to do much, but you can keep telling people until they do get you the help that you need. Okay, I put drugs versus medicine, right? Because earlier I told you that medicine was a drug, and but I'm telling you we should stay away from drugs, right? So it sounds like I am talking against myself or being conflicted in what I'm telling you, right? But here's the difference. Medicine, yes, they are drugs, but they're good drugs designed to help us with health conditions that we have. Okay, a health problem that we may have. Just like if you had a tummy ache, you could take some Pepto Bismol, and that's a good medicine, and that's helping us to take away the tummy ache. Okay, so how do I know which drugs I should take if some of them do help us? Okay, so the most important answer there is we have to only take stuff that is given to us by trusted adults. Okay, and those trusted adults, I mean, are your parents, your grandparents, maybe your babysitter that takes care of you and your mom knows very well, right? Or a doctor, or maybe the school nurse that's called your mom and talked to your mom. Okay, so we have to make sure that the only things we're putting into our bodies are stuff that trusted adults are giving us. Okay, and we're only going to be taking medicines from those trusted adults for a health problem that we really have right now. Okay, so if I have a stomach ache right now, I can take some medicine from a trusted adult. Okay, but if I had a stomach ache yesterday and it's not there today, I probably shouldn't take any medicine from anybody. Okay, because it's not a health problem that I'm having right now. There are occasions where your doctor says, "Here, I need you to take these little medicines for 14 days straight." And if you're feeling better in 5 days, okay, you still got to take them for 14 days. There's a reason, because it takes your body a lot longer to be able to use those medicines, right? Okay, so if your doctor tells you to take it for 14 days, then take it for 14 days, even if you feel better after the first three. Okay, and only take it if it's meant for you. So things like medicines are a lot of the times given in what they call prescriptions. Okay, meaning that a doctor writes this medicine only for you to use. It's kind of like he assigns it to you and only you, like your homework. Okay, you're the only one that should be doing your homework, so you're the only one the doctor writes that prescription for. So if that's for you and only for you, then you take it, and you're the only one that takes it. Okay, and then know who your trusted adults are. Hopefully by now we all know who our trusted adults are, and we're able to figure out who we can and can't take things from. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a few scenarios or situations, and you guys are going to tell me what's our options and what we should do. Okay, so here it goes. What would you do if you find a bottle of pills on the counter? Would you take the pills, or would you leave them alone and tell an adult? Hmm. If you're finding a bottle of pills on the counter, one, they're probably not meant for you, right? And two, we don't even know what they are. So we'd probably have to just leave them alone and tell an adult. Okay, and we're going to tell an adult so they can put them away and make sure our little brothers and sisters don't find them and don't think that they're candy and start just to take them. Okay, so make sure you don't take any, and then you just tell an adult. What would you do if you get a headache and you're at your friend's house and his mom offers you some medicine? Would you take the medicine, or would you get your mom's permission first? So the reason I think we shouldn't take the medicine is because we don't know who that medicine was intended for, right? Maybe that medicine was for your best friend, but it wasn't for you. Or maybe if you take that medicine, you might be allergic to it, right? And it might actually get you sicker than what you are already. And it could do your body more harm than it does good. Okay, so we always got to make sure we get our mom's permission first, get our parents' permission, and then if they say it's okay, then you can take the medicine at your friend's house. Okay, so you got those two? Good. Let's go on to the next one. Let's see. What would you do if last night your dad gave you some medicine because your head hurt, but it tasted really, really good, and now you wish you had some more? So sometimes the doctors do give us medicine that tastes really good, like cherry flavor or bubblegum flavor or vanilla flavor. Okay, and the reason why they do that is because they know young people tend not to want to take medicine unless it tastes good, because if it tastes nasty, you're just going to spit it out, right? So they give us cherry flavored medicine. Now here's the deal: if your dad gives you some cherry flavored medicine and it tastes really, really good, and you wish you had some more, what would you do? Would you pretend your head hurts again so he'll give you more medicine? Or would you know that it's wrong to take medicine that you don't really need and so you leave it alone? Hmm. I think we should know that it's wrong to take medicine that we don't need and so we should leave it alone. Okay? I think that's the right answer there. So, every year the Red Ribbon Coalition, okay, it's the agency in the United States that works to promote this drug-free America, okay, does this Say No to Drugs campaign. And during Red Ribbon Weekend they make us sign kind of contracts that say we're gonna say no to drugs, okay. And I know we're not in class today to be able to make one of those contracts or be able to say that, but I hope and wish that you guys all know by now that there's certain things that you got to say no to, okay. And those bad drugs are some of those things that you just got to stay away from, okay. uh that's all I got for you guys today. Happy Red Ribbon Week. I hope you guys are all feeling safe and healthy. I hope you guys are staying safe. Remember washing your hands as often as you possibly can. If you can't get to soap and water, then use hand sanitizer. But do it as often as you possibly can and stay 6 feet away from everybody. Okay, 6 feet is kind of a long way. It's kind of the length of a whole tall, grown human being. Okay, and then wear your mask if you guys are going out with your parents anywhere into the street. Okay, so until then, until we see you guys again, laters. Bye.